In this video, I want to show everyone how to check your check on learning grades in My Grades and be able to view the feedback. Now, in this video, I'm using the active course CJC 112-0901, but the way to check your grades will be the same in every single course. So if you're in one of the other courses, the process is the same, but I wanted to show you all how to check your check on learning grades and your feedback. So I'm in the instructor's course, but I'm in student preview mode, so this allows me to see what you all see. And so I'm going to go to assignments. At this point, you've already completed the orientation activity. That's what you have to complete to be able to view all the other modules. So when you go into module 1 and you start check on learning 1 and click begin, this will now bring you to the check on learning. And as I've mentioned in other videos in the introductory, these things differ in format. This one particularly has a mixture of multiple choice, short answer, and an essay question at the end, and multiple answer here. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to go through here and take this whole thing. I am just going to click on some answers, I'm going to click a couple that I know are right so I can show you the differences, but I am going to kind of run down here and just show you what it looks like when you go into the grades to see. If you're in one of my criminology courses, don't look at this and say, oh, these are the right answers, because like I said, I'm just kind of clicking these so you can see what it looks like in My Grades. So I'm just going to put in some things in here. Like I said, don't take what I'm putting in here as the correct answers. I am putting in here just answers so that I can show you how to view this in the My Grades. Okay, so I've gone through and I've answered everything in here. And so when you get done, you're going to want to save and submit, and then click OK. You'll see that the test is saved and submitted, and click OK. And so immediately it will show you what you got incorrect, what questions you got incorrect. It provides you your selected answer and then the possible answers. Okay, and so at this point, what you want to do is really go back and take a look at the ones that you got incorrect and compare it to the possible answers. That's the best way to handle the multiple choice. And then, of course, the ones you got correct will show you the answer, what your selected answer was, and what and the points that you earned. When you get down here to some of these questions, such as the multiple answer, you'll see here response feedback, none given. The reason is because this is not graded yet, and I have to go in and manually put in the feedback and give you the grade. So you won't see this here. Now, what I recommend doing is making an attempt on these assignments as soon as possible, so that way that gives me an opportunity to come in here and grade these. I try to grade it every day in order to give you timely feedback. But just keep in mind, if something is due on the 28th and you complete it on the 28th, all three attempts, it's unlikely I'm going to be able to give you the feedback needed to make those corrections. And so then with the multiple answer for the criminology students, it will I do award partial credit for these, so I got to go in and manually grade these as well. And then in the feedback, here I actually have it that, ensure that you're selecting one IV, DV, and correlation type. My feedback is generally going to be, please reference this PowerPoint presentation. That's really what the feedback is going to be. And when you get it correct, it'll look like this. And again, for the essay, no feedback is given until I go in and actually do it. And so you'll see this as soon as you submit the check on learning. Now, when you click OK, you'll go back into Module 1. Now, let's say you want to go back and make another attempt, but you want to study what you got incorrect. If you go to My Grades over here on the left, the best thing to have this on, the best link to have this on is All. You can click Graded or Upcoming or Submitted, and you'll see actually the assignments you submitted. But All is a good one to have because it shows you everything, to include where you can view the rubrics and different things like that. If you see this little exclamation mark here, that means that it needs grading and that there's elements that I have to grade. Now, if you go in here and click on the Check on Learning assignment, and you will see that your date created and when it was submitted last. And so you can actually go in here and click on this icon here, and it will take you back to the submission that it showed you when you completed the grade. Okay, and so that's how you would actually come back in and view what you submitted and what grade you got. Now, until it's graded, like I said, some of these areas down here, you won't see the grade until it's graded. So I'm going to pop in on the instructor's view. I'm going to grade this assignment, and then I'll come back in here and show you what it looks like after it's graded. Okay, so I've graded the assignment and come back in here to student preview mode so I can go view my own grade that I got. So when you go in here now, remember when we clicked on this before and graded, there was nothing here, but now you can see that I've graded the assignment and you have a number grade there. Okay. And so when you go in here, and again, you can view this in All View as well. If you scroll down, you'll see your graded assignment there. And what you'll want to do is you'll click on Check on Learning 1. And then now where there was an exclamation mark, there's a number, and then you'll want to click on that. When you click on that, now you'll go in, you'll see pretty much what you saw before, but now you will see I have response feedback and how many points. So here I'm telling myself to provide 2 examples because that's what the question was for, but I only provided 1. Here I'm saying, please elaborate. I gave myself 2 points out of that just because it was close. Again, here, please elaborate, gave myself 2 points. Here I'm asking for 2 types of variables. I gave 1, so partial credit. Here I received 0 credit because the answer was incorrect. And so my response feedback simply was review the PowerPoint on understanding research. And that is pretty much the ebb and flow of how you should be coming into the Check on Learnings and reviewing the feedback. And here I've given partial credit for the multiple answer assignments. And again, my feedback here is ensure that you're going back and reviewing the Understanding Research PowerPoint presentation. And again, down here, please elaborate. So this is what you're going to see until the due date passes for this assignment. Once the due date passes, you're going to be able to come in here and see the correct answers for all of these. And you'll want to do that so you'll be able to study for the midterm or final exam. So I'm going to show you that. I'm actually going to pop back into instructor's view. I'm going to change the due date on this so that it's before today. And so you'll be able to, and I'll come back in here and I'll show you how this changes after the due date. Okay, so I backed the due date for that Check on Learning 1, so it actually was before I submitted what I did. And so if you go into My Grades, again, scroll down to your Check on Learning 1, click over here on Check on Learning 1, And then when you click on calculated grade, now you'll be able to see your correct answers for each one. And you'll be able to come back in here and use this as a study guide for the midterm and final exam. So in addition to my response feedback down here at the short answers, you are provided with a correct answer of what I'm looking for this assignment for each one of these. And then again, if you're in the criminology class, you'll see the correct answers for the identification of the IV, DV, and the correlation type. You'll see it all the way down. And then for the essay, again, I have here, correct answers should include these potential items. So the key here is that when there's 3 points to take from this. The first one is that don't rush getting an attempt in, but you do want to get one in fairly early so that I have time to come in and grade it and give you feedback on it. And then so you can make another attempt. And then after you submit, you'll see which questions you got correct, which ones you got wrong, and I will, you should see my my general feedback. And then after the due date, you will actually see the correct answers. But this is how you'll want to check your grades for the Check on Learning. You can do this for all the Check on Learnings. When your assignments are graded for your discussion boards, you'll be able to click on these as well. The view the rubric and view feedback will be available in here as well.